circuits never sleep. I feel my spirit hollow in this dream of chrome and steel. Wires twist and tangle in a dance of sparks of light. My heart begins to strangle in the neon of the night. We are the last resistance against the digital tide. In the void of resistance, our humanity will survive. The signal's getting stronger, every pulse a deadly beats. As the nights grow ever longer in this city of concrete, I wake up early, punch the clock. 8 hours later, still feel stuck. Bills keep climbing, rent's too high. Working full time, barely getting by. I'm just a regular guy, doing my best. No fancy car, no high class flex. I work all day, then sigh at the price. Man, life ain't cheap, and that ain't right. Coffee's cold, my boots worn thin. Another day, same place I've been. Dreams on hold, but I keep pushing through. What else is a working man supposed to do? I'm just a regular guy, doing my best. No champagne nights, just a pig stress. I work all day, then sigh at the price. Man, life ain't cheap, and that ain't right. Maybe one day the tide will turn. Till then, I just live and learn. I'm just a regular guy. Maybe one day the tide will turn. Till then, I just live and learn. I'm just a regular guy.
Hello guys, how are everyone today? This is a picture of The Crow. It's by the actor is supposed to be Brandon Lee. Really cool movie if you haven't seen it. We're gonna do one more picture today. So this is the first one. Yeah, this was not too bad. Turned out pretty cool. So yeah. Anyone have any questions for me before we start on the next picture? Just gonna clean up a little bit and I'll start on another picture. The next one that we're doing is this one. It's gonna be Robin, superhero, Batman's sidekick. Underrested superhero, really. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do now. Thank you, Splash B. I am gonna turn on the music again. Just want to tell you guys that I am almost out of my favorite blades, so they're really bad today. So I have one left and then I have to start going on other types. I'm actually wondering if I should do try one who's actually is this is actually for cutting metal. So gotta be a little bit careful so the whole thing doesn't, you know, start burning. But yeah, why not? Might be entertaining for you guys if it starts smoking. Anyway, yeah, I'll turn on some music again and then we'll start on Robin. Thank you to everyone who is keep watching me.
shadows where the circuits never sleep. I feel my spirit hollow in this dream of chrome and steel. Wires twist and tangle in a dance of sparks of light. My heart begins to strangle in the neon of the night. We are the last resistance against the digital tide. In the void of resistance, our humanity will survive. The signal's getting stronger, every I wake up early, punch the clock. 8 hours later, still feel stuck. Bills keep climbing, rent's too high. Working full time, barely getting by. I'm just a regular guy, doing my best. No fancy car, no high class flex. I work all day, then sigh at the price. Man, life ain't cheap, and that ain't right. Coffee's cold, my boots worn thin. Another day, same place I've been. Dreams on hold, but I keep pushing through. What else is a working man supposed to do? I'm just a regular guy, doing my best. No champagne nights, just a pay stress. I work all day, then sigh at the price. Man, life ain't cheap, and that ain't right. Maybe one day the tide will turn. Till then, I just live and learn. I'm just a regular guy. Maybe one day the tide will turn. Till then, I just live and learn. I'm just a regular guy.
Okay guys, then we're done with another picture. If you have any questions for me, just let me know, and I'll if you have any questions, leave it in the comment, and I'll just peel off the tape, and we can look at how it looks like together. I know a lot of people don't like to watch me do the oil stuff at the end. Well, every time I turn the camera around, people tend to not want to stick around, and I understand it. It's a lot less. It's you know, boring to watch it. I get it, but I wanted to give you guys at least a chance to ask me some questions if you had any. Which Robin is that? Well, it's one of the Batman Robins. I'm not entirely sure from which movie, but yeah, one of the most underrated superheroes in the world, I think. It's actually quite cool. Yeah, I did the crow. I did the crow before, yeah. So this is the second one we do today. The second one and the last one. I'm now just gonna oil this one and you know, do what we usually do. And then we can do a little bit talking after that, if you guys want to. So yeah, he goes through Robins like one goes through napkins. Yeah, this was Nani actually asked if this was Zorro, which I understand. And should we do Zorro? Is Zorro a cool character? It looks like him. Yeah. I wish there was a way to do this faster. It kind of is. You can do it. I believe it's like, well, there are. I'm not sure. I heard it's 10 different ways of doing this. To not, so you know, if you don't want to use the tape. I've just gotten so used to use the blue tape that I don't know. I just like it. It's just easy and doesn't cost that much money, and you know, but it is a hassle to take it off like this. So but as far as a streaming thing goes, it probably would be better if I did it in another way. So yeah, we're gonna sand it down and we're gonna oil it, and then we're gonna put it in a frame with a back black back plate, or not a plate. It's called oh, I don't know the English word for it. You'll see. Anyway guys, I'll put on some music again and then we can talk at the end of the stream. I just work a lot faster with the music.
Wake up in the morning light, feel the rhythm, feel the mind. Every step is just a fight, on this stage of life tonight. Dreams are calling, stick around. Hear the music, feel the sound. In this heartbeat we are found. Living life is so profound. It's a way of life we choose. Every win and every bruise. In this dance we never lose. Living wild, no time to snooze. Through the darkness, through the pain, every challenge, every game. Like a storm, like pouring rain, wash away what's not in vain. Carry on and hold on tight, in the day and in the night. Find your fire, find your light, burn it bright with all your might. It's a way of life we choose. Every win and every bruise. In this dance we never lose. Living wild, no time to snooze. Ooh. Through the darkness, through the pain, every challenge, every game. Like a storm, like pouring rain, wash away what's not in vain. Carry on and hold on tight, in the day and in the night. Find your fire, find your light, burn it bright with all your might. Yeah, it's a way of life we choose. Every win and every bruise. In this dance we never lose. Living wild, no time to snooze.
Here we go, guys. Thank you so much to everyone who has been watching. Please subscribe if you're interested in scroll sewing and what I'm doing here. Really appreciate it. We're trying to get to 3005. So yeah, that's sort of the next milestone. What's the picture for tomorrow? Oh, now you're asking the right questions. I got a cool one for you tomorrow. I think, at least. We're gonna continue in the Batman universe. We're gonna go for the Penguin. Creepy picture, but I like it. I'm currently watching the HBO Max, I believe it's now. The Penguin, which is a really cool show on HBO, yeah, like I said, which I recommend. So yeah, I wanted to do something that I'm currently like watching, and yeah, the Penguin is a cool character, so we're gonna do this one tomorrow. Creepy picture, but yeah. I have a lot of pictures lined up now. We're gonna do 2 more superheroes. That's gonna be from the Marvel universe. So yeah, you had 10 subs away from. Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah, that would be really cool to get to that milestone, 3005. Yeah. Horror. Batman. Yeah, Nanny. Yeah. It looks like Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, or Mr. Hyde. It kind of looks like, if you don't know who it is, but if you know, you know. So yeah, it's Penguin from Batman. What did you guys think about the pictures today? Was kind of like, I knew that this one was going to be get finished very fast because there wasn't so many cuts. So that's why I decided, okay, let's do 2 pictures. So yeah, we did Robin as well. Cool picture of Robin. Very, very underrated character, superhero. Should absolutely make a standalone movie about him, because there are no good movies about Robin, that's for sure. So yeah, that's what's up. Anything you want to ask me? We should talk about anything before I'm going. We're getting close to the 2-hour mark, which is kind of what I like to stream. So around 2-hour mark. Wow, you are a pro, Adrian Pitcher, YouTube pro. Thank you, pro gamer. Thank you. I'm actually having a little bit of a problem now, and I said I just used my last blade, which I'm happy with. I have a bunch of other blades, but I'm not that fan of them. And if we're going to, yeah, that's actually going to be a challenge tomorrow. I'll figure something out. The problem that I'm having is that since I'm doing like professional blades and stuff like that, like scroll sewing is not big in Norway, so it's really hard to get the blades in like a local store. So I have to order everything that has to do with that on the internet, and that obviously take 3 days mostly to get the blades. So but I do have some I'm gonna look into it a little bit and see if I can find a solution for tomorrow. I think I have something that I can use. I just want to use the blades before actually going live, so I know what I'm doing. Did you do Warhammer 40,000 already? No, that's a good idea. Do you know when the movie is coming out? Because it would make sense to make when the movie is about to come out. And if we can find a picture, of course. I was looking into, sorry for switching what we're talking about, but I was looking into the character Splash B that you recommended. I mean, it's a very cool character. I just didn't really find anything that I could work with, which wouldn't require me to put a lot of work into it. So I'm thinking that we're not gonna do that one if it's okay by you. And but you know, more suggestions, and then maybe I'll do another one. I think that sometimes it's okay for me to say no if I don't really feel like it's, you know, worth doing. So yeah, but was a cool character. Made me want to play the game. Maybe I should do that. So yeah, but superheroes coming up for sure. I'm trying not to tell you which one it is because I think it's interesting for you guys to get to know who the next one is at the end of the stream. So yeah, but tomorrow we're doing this one. President Rushmore, president. No, Nanny. No politic. No presidents. No. We only superheroes and you know, more fun stuff. I think they announced the release date already, but there is a movie from 2010. Oh, is there? Is that an animated movie then? Because it's supposed to be with Henri Cavill. Is that his name? The guy who played Superman. Because he's obsessed apparently with Warhammer. I'm going to watch it, that's for sure. Never played any of the games, but I've seen some trailers and it looks interesting. Cavill, yeah. Very cool guy. One of the best Hollywood actors, I think. Maybe not best as in actor, but he's just so down to earth, you know, very likable guy. I have not seen I haven't seen Squid Games. Is that how you say it? I haven't seen any of them. I have one guilty pleasure, and it's wrestling. I'm watching like I never told anyone about that. It's like my guilty pleasure these days. And after it wrestling came to Netflix, I've been watching way too much of that. So yeah, that's what I'm watching these days. And the Penguin Show. Someone say it's coming out into 2026. Oh no. I wanted to come out this year. Oh well. Then we'll have to wait. They're coming out some adventures this year. Doomsday maybe first. 40 in April. So 39 at the moment. 40 in a month. Yeah. So you wanted me to do a Batman minion? That would be funny. I'm sure there are pictures. There are so many pictures of minions, stencil minions. So yeah. Yeah. The problem with it is that they're very easy to do, so it doesn't take a long time. So, but you know, we could do it as an extra. So like say we find a superhero that isn't too hard, and then we have some extra time, then maybe we could do like a funny minion at the end of the stream, like we did today. Like, okay, we add another superhero to the stream or something. So So yeah. But I'm thinking of ending the stream now, guys. It's been 2 hours, and or it's 2 hours in like 10 seconds by now. You could also do Batman Who Laughs. That's a Batman Joker. Yeah, they actually made. I know there's some stencils of evil Batman, which is really cool. You know, because I think it's in it's a version of Batman where he becomes evil. And so we could do that, but you know, how relatable is that to anyone except us? I don't know. Nanny is not age you is your age, or how old are you? Yeah, it doesn't matter. I understand. It's not everyone comes from you know, we come from different countries, so it makes sense that it's a little bit wonky sometimes. It doesn't matter. Like my English is not good either. Anyway, guys, you take care, and I'll see you tomorrow around same time, 7 p.m. And yeah, have a good evening. Bye bye, guys. Here we go.